Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when we are trying to figure out the genesis of a crisis that has gotten so clouded, so complex, what do we do? Some would say you need to follow the money. Okay, what has created the crisis? If it is conspiratorial, has a root, because if you cut down on that, that solves the problem. Some will say, no, this is about emotion and fundamental issues, and that's what's perpetuating the crisis. Others will say, no, it can be conspiratorial, and oftentimes we as people are used as patsies, as cannon fodder, as victims of somebody else's proxy thought process and agendas. All could be true, none could be true. But let's put some images on your screen. This is what's happened in Manipur. This is the second time it's happened in just the past 4 days. Several such arms caches have been recovered in the past 1 month. You're talking about pistols, grenades, now, ladies and gentlemen, where do the grenades come from? Now, you can argue that, okay, the guns are stolen from the police, the weapons are stolen from the police, the tear gas is stolen from the police, the 9mm pistols are stolen from the police. For sure, the police doesn't walk around carrying grenades on their belts. For sure, the police in Manipur is not trained on how to do bombing via drones. Something's wrong. It smells wrong. So, where's the weaponry coming from? It's a reasonable question to ask. It's a reasonable question to try and seek an answer to. Do we have the answers? I don't know. We're going to find out. RVS Vani joining us on the broadcast. Major General Shah is still with us. I'm expecting Kachin Langel to join us. He is been in the Ministry of Water Resources in the past. And Joda Hikrujam, who is a human rights activist, is also going to be joining us. One is a Kuki and the other is a Methi. So, we'll try to get their voices in, to get perspectives in. RVS Vani. Okay, I'm sorry to put the tongue-in-cheek joke, sir, but sometimes you're told to follow the money, so I'm trying to follow you. Will you help us follow the arms and ammunition? Where are they coming from, sir?
It's obvious. See, basically the type of the nomenclature of the ammunition which are coming from the grenades and the other things. It is certainly not locally procured. Lot of things are coming from across the border. I'm sure the FMR has been suspended, but notwithstanding that, the trafficking do happen both in terms of human, drugs and arms. That is happening from across the border, is well known. We also have a legacy of India insurgents group operating out of Bangladesh, and with the Bangladesh in turmoil also, that is also another route. We have the connection through the Myanmar route. The Myanmar has got multiple entry points into the Manipur. So, there are several areas, plus the Chinese angle of it. So, basically what we have to say is, we have to understand the entire region east of Alipurdwar as in a different perspective. First thing, and that type of the arms, ammunition and all coming in, is they have been living with that. And they are all quite well trained. We had consolidated a lot of things during 14 to 18. When the new government, NDA government had gone, but later on some fissures have happened, some things have simply asked to simply while away the place, and the recent disturbances, especially the foreign hands, the external hand and the repeated ethnic.
Okay, so but I'm trying to understand, Mr. Mani. So let us say that you and I have a fissure. We have a dispute, okay, a major dispute. It might be resolved through a verbal exchange. It might even resolve to fisticuffs. What levels of escalation, from hockey sticks to knives, can come forward? We don't have weaponry in our houses. You can say, okay, somebody could have a licensed pistol. and some people in parts even have have rifles, but no way in heck are we getting hand grenades. So, at some point of time this is coming from somewhere. You are saying that this was just rotating in the system, or are we suggesting that no, these are actually fresh supplies that are being brought in?
Conflict at per se is not just a Suomoto or a Suomoto conflict. It has been engineered from forces from across the border or wherever it is. It is firstly, let us say, somebody has triggered it, has engineered this conflict along with the sort of ammunition which has also been given. See, they are giving the arms to the conflicting parties and also perpetuating the conflict. So this is a different pedestal than what we are trying to oversimplify, is saying that two of people having a conflict, let them resolve it through hockey sticks, or if violent means hockey stick, resolution means negotiation with the third party like the state interest. That is not the situation here. It is something which much larger than that, and those forces which are engineering the conflict and are not allowing it to settle down. So that is what is to be.
Let me get Mr. Langle into this conversation. Mr. Langle, so rifles, pistols, ammunition, at some point of time it becomes hand grenades. Now, where are these weapons, where are the hand grenades coming from, sir? What do you suspect? Where are they coming from? Mr. Langle, if you can hear us. Okay, maybe not. We'll do an audio check and try to get him back. Let me put that same question, if I can, to General Sudhakar. General Sudhakar, at what point of time do we have to suspect that the arms and ammunition which are now available to whichever party is choosing violence at that particular point of time, where is this weaponry coming from, sir? Is it just floating in the system for anybody to grab off a tree?
Rishabh, good evening. Thank you for getting me to your show. Compliments to the co-panelists. Now, with regard to the question you are asking, there are more than 5,000 weapons looted from the armory, police armory. These weapons are floating around, number one. Number two, there are large number of weapons, ammunitions, and multiple platforms. I am restricting myself from usage of the terminology of aerial platform because the apex leaders have gone on ground. They have discounted that that was true. I personally am convinced. I have read enough, done enough of research. They are flowing down straight from a place called Riuli, R-U-U-L-I. It is in Yunnan province along the border between Myanmar and China, across Myanmar and coming towards Manipur. This is the second. And third thing is, I am given to understand they are being illegally manufactured. I don't have any evidence. I have reasons to believe that some people have given me very reliable inputs. Their proximity, some of them are being locally manufactured. Whether it is true or false, I can't say. Last but not the least, Rishabh, you are also well aware that there is a nexus between ISI and in this area, CIA, ISI, and name of Mossad is also coming up, but I have not been able to join the dots. I can't make a consistent and coherent line which will tell the story. But CIA and ISI, they are deeply involved, not only in Myanmar and Bangladesh, but also they are spilling over to this particular side, meaning Pakistan is also supplying a lot of military hardware to Myanmar. And some of them may be coming into the Manipur. So there is a very complex supply chain which is very revealing at times. And where do they getting the money from? Money is coming from multiple sources. It is not only the narcotics money. Money is coming, flowing in different form and different color and contour.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. You have better knowledge of this, sir, than I do, but I can sense that this is abnormal. So let me put that question to Mr. Aigejang. Mr. Aigejang, if you can hear me, sir, in a very practical sense, would it not be open to the realm of imagination to think that perhaps if two people are having a disagreement, that somebody wants you to have a disagreement, they want a fight, and they're perhaps instigating a fight, perhaps even arming the fight. Would that be too much of a leap of the imagination for you? Mr. Langel, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you from now.
All right. Let me put that same thought to you, Mr. Langel, that there is weaponry in the like in form of hand grenades, assault rifles, pistols, troves of ammunition which are being recovered. I am assuming and hoping that these are not floating around in the trees. Is there a room for us to even comprehend, sir, that there might be an actor that wants a crisis in Manipur and perhaps is arming it?
Sir, this in the beginning of the violence itself, the number of weapons, sophisticated weapons looted from Imphal was 5,668 and about 6 lakh ammunitions and bombs. That was on that in the beginning only. Apart from that, we all know the porous border from Myanmar, anything, drugs, anything can come in, and the militants themselves have sneaked in. So these things don't come from the tree. It is not grown on the tree. And they are very, I don't know how they manage to get it, all those weapons, apart from looting from the state armories. But what is surprising is that the security forces, the state police and the central forces, they are conducting such operations in the hills and border areas, Malap Valley and hills, but they don't do any such operations in Imphal Valley itself. There are lots of ammunitions are moving around, videos are available. They even day before yesterday on Ningon Chakoba, they said they provided Ningon Chakoba to the IDPs in the refugee camp, but in the video, they were dancing with sophisticated weapons. So I think they are becoming more and more bold to display all these things.
We sort of, try to have a convoluted conversation. So yes, the bottom line is either the weapons are stolen from Indian security forces or they are coming from elsewhere across the border. There can only be two answers because they're not certainly falling from the skies. Certain kinds of weapons can be locally manufactured, but if you're trying to tell me that a sniper rifle can be locally manufactured in the Imphal Valley, that's not going to happen. So there have to be two sources, either stolen or smuggled. Maybe some small arms can be locally manufactured. So now the question then is it just a sheer black market that is profiteering from it? Because arms trades can work in black markets, they do work in black markets. Or is there an attempt being made to supply weaponry in order to create a more hostile and deadly scenario in the state? It's a very legitimately scary question. Let's try to address it. Mr. Langel, do you think that weapons are being brought into the state of Manipur, smuggled in from across the border to try to create a dangerous, perhaps violent, perhaps deadly situation in the state?
I think it is also brought in, and many are stolen from the armories.
Okay, so both? Both?
Yes,
okay.
from the state armories.
Jodha Hekrujam, I'm sure you are equally disturbed given what has happened and the loss of life that has already taken place and our utter failure, and by our I mean all of us included, in dealing effectively with this situation. How disturbing is it to see hand grenades now being seized by the security forces?
Okay.
Jodha ji, if you can take that thought. Yes, please.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Before I reply your questions, I just give in reply to both the panelists. One is retired Colonel Sivankar ji, and one is Mr. K. Lingal. First, I will reply for the Mr. Sivankar ji. As he said before, like
Just a minute, let me interject here. I'm not Colonel. I am retired Major General.
Yeah, Major General Sudhakar.
okay, sorry,
yes,
sorry,
yes.
Major, sorry, Major.
Yeah,
Major
please.
General, sir. Yes.
Yeah, as he said before, like the police armory around 5,000 plus, he said it was snatched from the state police. The whichever armories which are available around the corner in the states, starting from the conflict. And this is not only from the states, that the number of armories 5,000 plus is not a big number as compared to the arms, sophisticated arms coming from the smuggling from the Myanmar. This is not only for these states. So most of the more than 10,000 plus of as you have heard, like at the beginning of the conflict, from the intelligence reports, more than 2 trucks of arms and sophisticated arms and ammunition came from Myanmar. From the beginning of the, you can see from the news as well. It was viral for that as well. So there's not only from the states. All right. So why our people, basically our indigenous native people, why we snatch arms from the state mercenaries? Because we didn't have any options. Because as you know, why we are using the word narco-terrorists at the beginning and even now as well. These people have a lot of funds from the drugs, and they used to buy, sophisticated war weapons from the China through Myanmar border and all. So because of that purpose only, it was further escalating this violence. And then, and I will reply for the Mr. K. Lingal, as he said, like, most of the sophisticated war weaponry is coming from the state armory, he said. So what I want to reply is there is no sophisticated war weaponry from the state police, because there is no sophisticated war weapon are using by state police. So that's a normal armories only that some people that is snakes. And apart from that, he said like only from the he said like only such operations going on in the valley area. Only hilly area. He used to say like that. But there is no. You can see from the Manipur State Police, Facebook, Instagram page. It's every day they used to update. The report whether they used to do these things, security operations, both hills and the valley. So majority of the posts is coming from the Imphal Valley only. So this is not like the searching operations going only on hills, but
okay.
Our state police taking place in both hills and valley. So I will come to in your point. Like, see, even I mentioned as I replied to the Mr. Retired Major, like the armories and most of the sophisticated weapons are coming from the these things through smuggled through Myanmar from the China, as we used to believe that, and also most of the local made, as you say, that are made by this chain cookie narcotics. We are not unable to make such kind of local. So we are not unable to make.
Obviously, sir, forgive the interjection, inherently dangerous to the point of devastatingly ominous that we are seeing the level of weaponry go up. Now, you are also saying that the arms are probably being smuggled in, some are being stolen, some could be manufactured. All the others are saying exactly the same thing. So now how do we put that to a halt? Obviously, you do not want more hand grenades rotating around your friends and family members.
This hand grenade is not a local made. All right, these are smuggled through porous border Myanmar by chain cookie narcotics, and they used to, that's the reason like state police knew that, and they used to did such operation. They were used to getting such kind of ammunitions from that area.
Okay. General Sudhakar, are we seeing fig leaf coverings that we take back a few guns and a few rounds of ammo every few days and publish a photograph so it looks like there is something dramatic of a crackdown going on, where actually the situation is still out of control?
Absolutely. Rishabh, bang on, I would say. Your observations, readings are absolutely conclusive to the best of my understanding. Rishabh, maybe at the cost of being called as an alarmist, the situation definitely is alarming. There are things which are happening behind the scene which we are not cognizant of. Through your channel, I have indicated that the great game Northeast or the East, Littner's book, that Swedish author, if you go to the last chapter, he has referred to a top secret document which was written by a Burmese military officer, a lieutenant colonel. He somehow managed to access into that particular document, and whatever he read, since 2006, Thein Sein was the president of Myanmar. There was a U-turn in the entire foreign policy of Myanmar. Till 2006, you would see very distinctly they were pro-Chinese. From 2006 onwards, they have tilted towards USA, and everything which is happening is recorded in that particular document in Myanmar. Whatever happens in Myanmar is spilling over to Manipur, because both the states, I would say, for us, a modern state, there is a boundary in between. But geographically speaking, both of them are contiguous to each other.
Okay.
Last point, Rishabh, I
Yes.
want to make is there is much more than actually meets the eye. What I'm saying is the CIA is very intensely involved with greater designs. We may not call it out for the sake of the international relations or for maturity and responsibility, but there is a need to actually dissect everything in minute form with a microscope and
No,
study.
there's no dissection required, sir. I mean, you have no proof. I don't either. But I can tell you that a certain prime minister of a country goes to Beijing, and Beijing is no friend of India's. Spends about 10 days there, returns home, and within 2 weeks there is a coup, and an individual who was previously working and taking a paycheck from the Clinton administration now runs that country. Okay, and that happens to be in exactly the same neighborhood. So we're not naive. We can put the two and two together, and at least our suppositions should also include all possibilities. I'll leave the last word with RBS Money before I take a break. Mr. Money, in the end, there will be forces, friends, foes, and others, who may wish you ill, who may want to cause a trouble in your home. But of course, if you have a strong boundary wall, if you have a good relationship with your family, the trouble will not be caused, regardless of who's trying to cause it. So what do we do? How do we build a strong wall, and how do we improve our own associations so nobody can come needle us?
Ultimately, that is the way we require a multi-strong driver, because today it is Myanmar, last 15 months or 18 months it has been Manipur. There are reports of things spilling over to Mizoram also, and the Mizoram's chief minister's statement, I would say, in the country has not been very encouraging. What Major Sudhakar had said, that footprint is almost coming, a successful statement he had made in USA. That's a different chapter. But the question is a multi-pronged strategy for the entire northeast of Alipurduar. Every state has to have a separate roadmap, security roadmap. The security on that should be zero compromise on security and integrity of the nation. And from there, you build the confidence building measures through development, employment generation, anti-narcotics drives, because narcotics is the major lifeline of the terrorism in Northeast. As far as maximum things are there, narcotics, and these things are skill development. So many programs have been really taken there. Now, this Manipur can have spillover in Nagaland. It is already having some embers in Mizoram because of the common border with Myanmar, because Myanmar can be up to mischief there also. So this is the time
so
to take
let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. We are an imperfect country with an imperfect administration, and certainly have imperfectly, in many decades, taken care of Indians living in the northeast of India. So we have to accept that there are people, communities, groups, individuals who have a just demand, a just cause, a just grievance. But at the same time, there are people out there who are fishing in troubled waters. They want to create problems, and they want to throw in the grenades and a few guns, hoping that they will be fired and used and create animosity and hatred that will go on for generations. We have to be wise enough to prevent that from happening as well. In the end, both on the ground in Manipur and across the border and securing it to prevent the arms, ammunition and narco smuggling, which is now open knowledge has taken place. We'll have to fight it on both ends. What we do not want is just to keep spiraling while we pretend it's not happening until it comes and blows up in our face. For the people of Manipur, it's been too many months already. We take a break. See you in a month. See you in a minute.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.